Dímelo, mi gente, what is up? And welcome back to another live interview here on Gonzalez Media TV. As always, I'm your host, Jose G. Make sure you give me that follow at Jose G Official on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok. We are live on all of our platforms right now. Make sure you head on over to the YouTube. Make sure you smash that notification bell at Gonzalez Media TV. And ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing guest today. I've known this wrestler for a few years now, from her beginning, and now she made some time to be with me today. She is going to be at the NGCW Amazonas Dancing Queen event this Saturday. She has a match against the Vampire's assistant, Serena Vale. We got the Hollywood Horror joining us today. What's up, Lexii Gomez? How you doing today, mama?
Hello, Jose G. I'm Lexii G. We're basically
Lexii G and Jose G.
Yes.
We got the G's up in here today.
The best.
I love it. I love it. How you been, mama? Good to see you.
Good. Great living. Having a great time. It's good to see you again. I know it's been a while. So,
Lexii, before we get started with our conversation today, where can the people follow you on social media so they can follow everything that you're doing in pro wrestling?
Oh, absolutely. Follow me on all my social media. I have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Everything is Lexii Gomez. Instagram is Lexii with 2 I's _ Gomez _ and then Twitter's pretty much the same. You just type in 2 I's, you'll find me, the star of the show. You have me on YouTube as well. You can find my matches there. Anything with Lexii Gomez.
There we go, mi gente. Make sure you go and show that support to Lexii. Follow her journey. She's everywhere. She's in Shine. She's in the independent circuit here in Florida. She's in Puerto Rico. She goes everywhere. You can't miss her. She is the hottest thing right now in Florida. So I appreciate you taking time today to be with me, Lexii. So you got a match this Saturday. You got NGCW Amazonas. Now, refresh my memory. Is this your return to NGCW? Because you were at one of the first ones, right?
I was. It was a while ago. Like when I first started. I'm pretty sure I was under a different name. I
want to say like maybe like 2017, 2018, right around there.
I started in like 2018, 2019 when I started like training and wrestling. So it would have to be like 2018.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But
yeah,
but this is a different NGCW now. This is a full women's promotion now.
I love that.
It's a rebrand. It's NGCW Amazonas. The first show was a few months ago. Great success. Now we have the second show at Dancing Queen under new leadership, right? We got Barbie Boy apparently controlling the whole thing now. But you have a match with someone who kind of has the same parallels as you. You know, you're the Hollywood Horror. You know, a little gory, a little gothic. You got the Vampire's assistant with Serena Vale. Very, very talented young woman. She's great in the ring. But y'all share some similarities. So when you found out about Serena Vale being your opponent this Saturday, what was your reaction?
Oh, I was very prepared because I'm the Hollywood Horror. Vampires up my alley. I know what I'm looking for. I know how to take out a vampire. Like, come on now. This easy work. I feel like I can understand her mindset, and I'm excited to get in the ring with her for the first time. I always love getting in the ring with a new girl for the first time, facing off with someone new, because you just get to figure each other out. You get to see what each other's about. You don't know what to expect, but I'm coming in 100% ready, and looking, forward to this and see what she has up her sleeve. Like, maybe I'll bring like some garlic, maybe some like steak knives or whatever.
You
I
gotta bring
mean,
some
obviously, I'll bring like a
crucifixes up
mirror
in
and scare
there.
her away from her own reflection, but she probably won't be able to be shown in it. But I mean, I would be scared. But let's just say I'm no stranger to horror, so let's see what she brings Saturday.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting matchup, and let me tell you, Serena Vale, she's very talented. She, for the young age that she's been competing, I think she's only been doing this maybe like 3 or 4 years, like not as long as you, but she's very, very talented. So, I mean, I do think that you do have your work cut out for you this Saturday. However, things can happen, things can change, at a moment's notice. As we were talking a little bit before we went live. The main event got changed around a little bit because of
Mhm.
some stuff that happened. So, in your experience, when you've dealt with different cards at different promotions, how do you handle those sudden changes of the card at shows like that as a wrestler?
I've had that like happen to me like recently a few times, and it's not something that you're obviously not prepared for, but it is something that you should always have that in the back of your mind. It definitely, I wouldn't say it would like throw like a bone in or whatever to your brain, but like it does give you, because like when you're, you know who you're supposed to be facing, and then last second something happens, um, and then you just get put with another person, and you may or may not be familiar with that said person. You definitely have to look at it in a different perspective, which is not really that big of a deal if you are confident enough to be able to handle that kind of bone that's being thrown at you. So I'm no stranger to that. I mean, it does suck. Cards are always subject to change, so I get that. But it's just something that you have to be able to be prepared and deal with. And I guess it just really comes with time and confidence, and just being like, reassure yourself that you can face anybody who they put in front of you. Like, I've wrestled, different girls that were, last second, a girl had to pull out because she was hurt. And, I understand that because our bodies are so important. I get that completely. Or like their flights got canceled. Like, so many things happen. Sometimes I've went into a show thinking I'm wrestling a woman, and I end up wrestling a man.
Whoa.
Totally fine. I just, I have to like learn to adapt to it and just go on. It's show business at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
you got to go with the show.
And mi gente, the show is this Saturday, Sun on the Beach, Kissimmee. Make sure you guys get your tickets.
Yes.
Pietix.com. Make sure we go to the link in the description. We have that link for you over there. You guys can go and show
Get your
yourselves and
ticket.
show your support
Get
to
your
Lexi Gomez
ticket.
this
Come and
Saturday.
see all these ladies. Like, how
Yes.
many times do you see an all girls show? Like, come on.
It's
Break
that's
it to me. We're in Old Town. Go have some fun. Have some drinks after. Have some drinks before. Watch all these girls beat each other up. Get your tickets now. You don't want to miss it. I'm here for it.
and you know what the cool thing excuse me about it is that apart from Shine, Shine is more of a national type of a promotion where there's all females and things like that, but NGCW Amazonas is the first Florida women's only promotion, and
Yeah.
I absolutely that it's innovative. Women's wrestling is on the up and up. So for you, Lexi, I know you've been at this nearly almost going to 10 years now, as a performer, but talk to me a little bit about your journey and what you've noticed about the evolution of women's wrestling, and especially having more opportunities now compared to like 5 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. Like, it's been crazy, like being, because like when I started, I was 19, and I just turned 26. And seeing from that time period of like how women's wrestling has been put more on the map is amazing, because a lot of history, women are just looked at as just like objects. They're pretty. You put them in there, give them a cute outfit. They can't hang with the boys. They're just divas. They're pretty. But recently, it's definitely progressed to where we're on the same level, I feel like, and I see that in a lot of companies. And we get our spotlight, we get our recognition that we deserve, because this sport is not just specifically just for men. It's for
Mhm.
everybody. It's for men, women, anybody that identifies as whatever, they just, it's an open platform for everyone. And I feel like it needs to be more welcoming. And it's so nice to see, like, over the years, the process, like you said, like back when I started, like it was like a crawl to get onto Shine Wrestling. Now it's expanded so much. So many new girls are coming in, debuting and making their, being in with only like a year and stuff. It's really nice to see. And it's great to see that, especially with me being in Florida and wrestling around the state. It's nice to see that there are more women now, because back in the day, like when I first started, I would be wrestling the same women over and over. There was only a handful of us. Now I'm getting to, people, they come down, they travel to Florida to wrestle here. I go out of state to wrestle other women. It's just nice to see that now in 2025, there is a majority of a good amount of women's wrestling. And that's so
Yeah,
nice.
and especially in Florida. And Florida's like the mecca
Yeah.
right now for pro wrestling. We got NXT here, AEW's over
Mhm.
here. So it's and a lot of the pros, they all live here, so
Yeah.
it's awesome to have that resource here in Florida for you. But I also wanted to talk to you about your persona, because you've kind of gone through an evolution of your persona, of your character in pro wrestling. Talk to me about what kind of goes into developing your persona, developing your character, and developing the character that you have now, the Hollywood horror. What went into that?
For me, it was, I know that, like, professional wrestling, we're entertainers, we're entertainment. And when I first started, I really was just, I'm a wrestler. I'm wrestling. I learned how to wrestle. I'm here. I felt like I didn't give that factor of entertainment and story and character. And for the longest time, I was just like looking for something to call myself or to be. And it was just, I don't just want to be a girl with knee pads and a leather jacket and just, I'm a wrestler. So it definitely, within the last, I would say, 2 years, 3 years, I really started looking into, like, becoming the Hollywood horror that I am today. And it really was just like my love for horror movies, my love for movies. I used to do independent movies and filming when I was like a teenager, and that kind of helps me a lot with, like, my persona, my promos, my background of going into it. I know different shots. I know how to create like a mini movie, and it's just, I was thinking, like, why haven't I applied this before? Because it was just, I guess, my phases of me learning. Okay, now I know how to wrestle. How do I apply a character with this? And it kind of just developed over time. And the more I get into my character, the more I wrestle, the more I post pictures, promos, I just feel more embodied by the Lexii Gomez that I am now, compared to who I was when I first started wrestling. The star of the show, the cinema sickness, it comes to me every time I step into the ring. I figure out a little bit more about myself and how I would react into my character. I kind of like split myself apart from the regular Lexii to Lexii Gomez, the Hollywood horror. And I could kind of see myself in ways where I know that this is what I would do as Lexii Gomez, the star of the show. I'm extra, I'm all eyes on me. And I kind of just develop that from there. And then, just like I said, every time I do something new, I try to, like, figure out what I can do to top it, or figure out what I can do to accentuate it and make it bigger, make it extra. And it's just, I really love that creative process of being a professional wrestler, that you get that kind of free opportunity to really dive deep and, like, figure out who you are and who you want people to see you as. So the whole transformation that I've had over the few years, it's been really, really fun. It's made me fall in love again with wrestling, fall in love with being in front of people and entertaining them, because I have something that, they know of me. They think of, like, something, and they'll know of me. And it's a nice feeling that, that comes in, which is evolution and developing, and it comes over time. And I'm really happy where I'm at now. And I have a lot more plans in, like, developing me as a wrestler and as a character. So I'm looking forward to all of that.
Do you ever feel like the Lexii Gomez in the ring is just regular Lexii, but turn up to 11?
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, half the things that I do and half the things that I say in the ring, I'm like, I think that in my brain as a normal human being. But would I ever do that in real life? No, I wouldn't. So I really just get to take everything that I have piled up, and I get to just release it for the crowd to see. And it's just, it's a shock value sometimes, but I'm like, this is really my brain. This is not just something I've, created and I ran with it. Like, this is how my brain works. This is how I process things. And this is, I wouldn't say the person I wish I was, because I don't think that I don't wish to be like a crazy deranged, like bleeding and all that. I don't, but like I love that I get to be able to step into those shoes and really express myself that way. If that makes sense.
Now your Instagram is very interesting because there's a vignette of you with a heart and like a lot of blood and some gore.
Yeah.
It's horror, but it's also at the same time a little boudoir in there, right?
Yeah.
It's boudoir horror. It's tasteful, but
It's
horror.
glamorous. I love the
Yes.
whole aspect of like the old glam of like the Hollywood time, the starlets just amped up with like blood and scary, because I feel like that's really my personality. Like I love to express myself through the way I look, and I grew up, my first like favorite movies growing up was like Scream and The Bride of Chucky. Like I was not like the little girl that would watch like Barbie movies and like kid movies. Like I loved the weird slasher movies and stuff, and I don't know if my mom was concerned or not, but she let me watch them, and it kind of crafted me into the woman I've become. And I just love the fact that I'm able to express that on a platform where other people who, like myself, admire and appreciate that type of like horror and like franchise. Like I know like a lot of people who, like, I do a lot of my promos that like ode to like movies and things like that, and so it's nice to see like the fans that are also like horror fans that are like into wrestling. Our worlds collide, and that's so sweet because I'm like, there's more of us out there. Like that's so nice. Thank you
Yeah.
for understanding my weirdness.
Hey, I think there's a lot of pro wrestlers in the pros right now, WWE and AEW, that kind of identify with that culture.
Yeah.
Either horror movies, pop culture, things like that. They identify with that, and I think that's something cool because that's relatable, right? That's
Yeah.
something that the regular fans like. And I like that you bring that to the table. That's awesome. Did you get it? I know you're a huge movie buff, and I know that you mainly concentrate on horror, but the new movie, Queen of the Ring, based on Mildred Berg. Did you get to check that out yet?
I've yet to see that because I literally live under a rock, and I will wait till like 6 months later. Like okay, y'all are probably gonna hate me, but I just watched the second Beetlejuice. Like I literally,
That's all
it got
right.
released on Netflix, and I just now seen it. Like I'm the worst at like staying up with,
No hater.
new
No
things.
hater, guys.
I'm literally the worst, but I have seen it, and I do want to catch it. I will sit down and watch. I will.
It's a fantastic movie.
I
Great,
will take your word for it. Now that you're telling me and you brought it up, it's going to be something like recent that I
Yeah.
watched, and I'll let you know how I think.
Yeah, I definitely highly encourage you check it out just because of the history behind it.
Of course.
And then all the other women that we all mutually know through the business that are in the movie, right?
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see fellow people in the business on the big screen. That's
It
always
is so
cool.
cool. It's so great to see that. I love to see it.
So when you started as a pro wrestler, what was the reaction from your friends and family? How did that go?
Um, it was weird because I grew up not being like, I was not athletic. I did gymnastics as like a kid, like every little girl did, for a while. And then I kind of grew out of it. And like I said, I started doing like independent movies and things like that, commercials and like Florida films. I would go like to the film festivals and things like that. So at the time, I remember I was a lifeguard. And I started going to like the live like TNA Impact tapings that they had at Universal because
Yeah.
free all the time. So when I started going there, I became a fan. I went there for like a year straight. Every taping, I went and I did the meet and greets, and my mom would go with me, and I was a huge fan because I remembered watching it as a kid, and I grew out of it, and then it kind of like visited my love for wrestling. And I remember being there, and I'm like, you know what, I could do this. So when I told my mom, I was like, hey, I think I want to start training. And she looked at me and she was just like, okay. Like I remember her like being like, you want to do that? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I entertain people. Like I'm like an actress. I can do this. I just got to learn how to do it. Like I feel like I can do this. Like I love to be in front of people. I always grew up love performing and stuff. So I feel like for her, she really wasn't surprised. but it was kind of like a curveball because like, what do you mean you want to like go professionally get beat up? Like that's weird. And then when I told all my coworkers and my friends at like my job when I was a lifeguard, I was like, yeah, I'm training now to be a wrestler, and they were like, you, come on, you, look at you. I'm like, what do you mean look at me? Like I got that so many times. Like I can't see you being a professional wrestler. And still to this day, when I will tell like strangers when they ask me like what I do, like, you know, I'll tell them like, yeah, I'm also a professional wrestler, and they're like, you, like you're a girl, you're so short, you're so small, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. Like
I
I got
love
that
that.
so many times, it was crazy. But like once I started doing it, once everybody seen how serious I was about it, they all supported me. Obviously, my mom was my biggest supporter. She would take me to every training practice, every time. She would always be there. I remember when I went home crying one day because I was taking bumps for the first time, and I told her, I was like, I just don't think I could do this. And I think I tell this story all the time, but because it means so much to me. But I was on the way home and I was crying, and I was like, I just don't think I could do it. And she was like, you've never been thrown around or pushed around. Your body's not used to that, and you're crying because you're learning something new. Did you cry when you learned how to walk? And I was like, I don't remember, I was a baby. But she was like, you gotta learn, if you really want to do this, you gotta push past that. And really, for her, like if it wasn't for her, I probably would have given up like
That's
a month
beautiful.
into training. Like, so that support that I got from first, like telling everyone that this is what I was going to do, it was like, you know, a little weird, but then they really quickly accepted it. And now I have the most support. All of my family, they're so supportive. I have a lot of like my coworkers and stuff that will come out and watch me. And it's just a nice feeling because I'm like, you know, this is what I'm doing. And I'm glad that they're here for me, and they're on my team. So it's a really nice feeling.
Well, you're an absolute legend, Lexi. I always love talking to you. You're such a great personality and a great presence to be around. And I'm looking forward to hanging out with you on Saturday.
Yes, I know it's been forever. We're gonna
I
have so much
know.
fun. I'm so excited to be there, and
I know.
I
I
can't
know,
wait.
mi gente. Make sure you go check out NGCW Amazonas Dancing Queen this Saturday. Tickets are available at pytix.com. Link is in the description. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't done it yet. Share the show. Comment it. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Make sure you say hi to Hollywood Horror Lexi Gomez and give her that follow on Instagram at Lexi with 2 eyes _Gomez_ and give me that follow as well at Jose G Official on Instagram. It looks like we got some comments. Oh, we got the manager of Serena Vale in the comments. Welcome
Oh,
to the world of my vampire queen, Serena Vale. Capichi Uva. See you on
oh, that was
NGCW.
like the chupacabra.
I thought so for a moment. I
Well, thank you
thought
for
so
the
too for a
warm
moment.
welcome. I'm sorry that I'm gonna have to. Your client, your vampire client. I'm sorry I'm gonna have to beat her up. That sucks. That sucks. Get it? Cause she sucks blood.
Uh, So, Lexi, I always like to end the conversations with gratitude. I always think that it's so important for us to acknowledge those people that help us along the way on our journey to greatness, right? You've been at this for a minute. There's so many people that help you train, that, get you booked and things like that. So I want to give you the platform to shout out whoever you'd like, Lexi, because I always think that it's so important that we acknowledge those people. So, Lexi, the platform's yours.
Oh my god, I'm on the spot. I didn't make a speech, but I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been with me on this journey. I have so much to say, and I'm on the spot, so I don't know what to say. But I do appreciate everyone and all the fans and everyone who, support and follow, share my things, like my things, come to see me. It means the world to me because I was just a regular little girl who grew up watching wrestling, who loved it, and now I get to share my craft with everyone. And I hope that the people that are in the crowds and who are watching, feel the same love and inspired the way that I've been inspired. So thank you guys so much, and thank you, Jose, for having me on this platform right now and giving me the time to talk.
My
I'm really
pleasure.
excited and very grateful. I'm looking forward to Saturday. We're gonna have so
Well,
much
I'm
fun.
grateful for you for being on here, and I can't wait to see you on Saturday. Mi gente, make sure you make it down to Sun on the Beach this
Sun
Saturday
on the
in
beach.
Kissimmee. Let's go. NGCW Amazonas Dancing Queen, where Lexi Gomez is going to be facing the Vampire's assistant, Serena Vale, in a one-on-one matchup. It's going to be good. In the good old words of Booker T. We appreciate you guys. Mi gente, love you. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back with more interviews later this week. All right, guys? We appreciate you. We love you. Take care.